This is my grandpa's car, and I ruined it. But today, we're gonna fix everything that's wrong with it and make my grandpa's wagon sick. I say that because over the past couple months, I've slowly modified this thing to make it way cooler than it was when I was a kid riding in the back. And in doing so, I made a few mistakes. Oh, it sounds so cool, I gotta be honest. First things first. This thing is not cooling itself properly. The fans, for some reason, are not kicking on, even though Will wired them so well. I think it's because I broke this temperature sensor, and we'll see if that fixes things. Turns out, that did indeed fix it. I forgot to record myself putting the sensor in. But now that we have a new coolant temp sensor, the car is reading the coolant temp correctly. That didn't solve our big issue. You see, reading the temperature is one thing, but the car actually cooling itself when it gets hot is another. I thought when we changed the coolant temp sensor that the car would then know that it's getting hot and kick these fans on that we added in the last video. But it turns out our wiring is just a little bit incorrect. Will sort of cobbled this wiring together. As you can kind of see, it's a little janky. But now, check this out. When I go turn the car on, oh, you hear that? You hear that? That's the sound of cooling. We've now wired up these fans to just go on when the car is on. These are blowing. So the car knows how hot the coolant is now, so that way I know if it's getting hot. And the car should also just be cooling itself because these fans are just gonna be on anytime the car is on. I'm sure that's a battery draw, so I'm gonna turn that off for the time being.
So one thing about this car is we've never taken the wheels off, which is super embarrassing, but if you look at the wheels, you realize that how the heck do you take those off, Brett? You have any idea?
I would have thought it was here, and I tried that, and I peeled dang Chevy badge off.
Oh no, thank you.
But I'm gonna guess this is like a cover of some kind.
You got a pry bar?
I'm gonna use a screwdriver.
There's gotta be a way to do this. This is definitely the first time I've ever had to look up how to remove wheels from a car.
Hey AI ChatGPT, how do I get this 1995 Chevy wheel off? I don't understand.
This has to come off, Mr. Robot, Mrs. Robot.
Oh, I'm definitely not here to take anything off, but if you mean you're...
Oh, no way.
Bolt.
This thing just yeet off now? Oh!
Yeah!
That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. How's the suspension seem like it's gonna be saying?
Seems like it's gonna be horrible. The reason we need to get these wheels off is because I found a cheap lowering kit online to slam this sucker to the floor, which I hope works well. We are heating the bolts up to make sure they don't crunch themselves in half, because they probably haven't turned in eons, and if they do crunch themselves in half, we got a lot of work ahead of us.
Oh, dude, rear springs in this stuff are easy.
Wow, that's a big spring.
This is the Chevrolet Met.
Big guy.
Whoa!
Shorter.
Yo, that's the Met.
It's not on the top anymore. If they don't sit properly, when you have the wheels on, we try to lower it back down, and it's not sitting straight, and the wheels go on, it's gonna... The first rear spring is in. It does move around a bit, and that's because the other side is not done yet, and it's gonna have a little bit of travel. So when we get it on the ground, we're gonna have to make sure everything's aligned perfectly. Then every time we take it on and off the lift, we're gonna have to double check that it's aligned, because they are quite a bit shorter than the stock ones. Now to do the other rear side.
There we go, that probably should out.
So now, I don't know about your car, but my lowering springs don't be doing this normally.
They don't move around so much. But the second one is in, as you can see. The other problem is because of this solid rear axle thing, it's not good. But we're gonna figure it out. Now to figure out the front, which is a lot harder, it seems. There's way more variables up here.
This is one of the cars ever made.
It's a car, that's for sure. I rescued this car off an island where it lived for over 30 years. And because of that ocean air, it seems many things have decided to seize together in the suspension. Oh my ear!
God! Oh, tough. The nuts of all time.
That's a nice nut, dude. We gotta beat the brakes off this thing because it's not coming down. Because this car is old and crusty, all the ball joints that are on it do not want to come off. I literally have hit this thing with a hammer, Will heated it up with a torch, and yet the bottom control arm will not drop down. And without it dropping down, we can't get the spring out. We've tried pretty much everything, but we've yet to try the correct tool for the job. So I ran on over to the store and picked up this ball joint separating tool. Boy, do I hope it works. It's also, you know when things come oily in a bag? Okay, it turns out the correct tool doesn't even fit. I accounted for this happening, which is exactly why I bought this separating set of these things. They're called pickle forks. You're supposed to just nail them into the ball joint. It's a thing that I feel like is gonna work less effectively, but it was my only backup plan. I must find the correct fork size. Let me hit it with a hammer. Nothing happened. Well, this is bad news. When I tell you I have tried literally everything to get this lower control arm off, I've been going at this now for 2 days. And to be honest with you, I'm sure it's possible. I'm sure I could somehow get it off. But the fact that it's not coming off easily, mixed with the fact that the rear springs are jiggling around and kind of sketchy, I think I might bail on this, revert it back to stock, but that does not mean that we're not going to do cool stuff to this car. We have a lot of cool things happening, including some very, very fun wheels that are behind me. But we're not going to do the lowering springs right now. I might try to get a different kit and or try to get a different tool to try to take this lower control arm off. I have noticed a few things while trying to do this though, and one is that the front brake pads are pretty much at the end of their life, and this thing weighs about 1 billion pounds. So I want front brake pads, especially considering those are drum brakes, so they're not all that great. The next problem is that I destroyed my end links, the front end links, which are what connect the sway bar, which this car very much needs because again, it's about 9,000 pounds. So I'm gonna order some new ones of those. Those should be here soon. I also broke a couple bolts, so I'm gonna go try to get some new bolts before I put this front end back together again. And then we'll revert the rear back to stock, and then we'll get to the really fun stuff. So this is going very well already. The rust is a little bit worse than I thought it was when I first put the car on the lift. Turns out the salt air has sort of fused all the metal bits together. But that's not gonna stop us from making this wagon sound sick, look sick, and function a whole lot better. There's a lot of things we gotta do to this car. So let's continue on, get this thrown back together again, and then move on to the good stuff. That's horrible. That is not fun, but that one is pretty much back in. Just gotta jack it up, bolt that arm down, and then we can do the other side. The stock ones, unsurprisingly, fit so much better. Something's just not right about them. I'm gonna see if I can find a better kit. If you have any recommendations for one, put it in the comments, because it would be cool to see this thing lowered. I have put the rear suspension and most of the front suspension back together. Can't finish the front until the brakes come in, because I already have them taken off. Why put them back on? And the end links, because I broke one. So, we're gonna wait for those to come in, throw them on, then get to the good stuff. This wagon is already so awesome. I love this thing. It's already way cooler than it was when I was a kid riding in it. But it's about to be a whole lot better. So just you wait. Get excited. Grandpa's car's got a little problem, and we're still waiting for parts, so I'm gonna try to fix said problem. Look at this. Front window does what a window should do. It goes up and down. Now, let me show you something a little different. Please observe this back window.
Oh yeah, it's going down at angular style.
That's as far as it goes down, by the way.
Oh.
And you'd think, Jackson, that looks fine, besides it only being halfway down, until you roll it up. Whoa! And it does.
It needs some, oh, Jesus.
Thing about that is there are these little plastic clips that cost about 5 cents each that go bad inside the window area.
Down there.
So we're gonna take this door panel off and see if we can't fix that with these replacement ones, because this window is usually...
Why would we see if we couldn't fix it? That was the real question.
Such a good point.
How about we see if we can fix it?
Let's see if we can fix it.
You know, to be fair, the odds are about 50-50. A lot of things we can't fix, like the suspension or the rust.
It's perfect in every way, dude.
And it's about to got these chrome style wheels. More on that in a second.
Quick break from working on the Caprice. We want to thank Gameloft and LEGO Technic for sponsoring this video. While we're taking a break from the Caprice, we're going to work on something a little different. This is a LEGO Technic BMW M4 GT3, and the detail on this thing is wild. The steering works, the suspension actually moves, and the aero and interior details are dialed. It's basically a mini engineering project, which is fitting based on what we're doing to the Caprice right now. But here's the cool part. Once you build it in real life, you can actually race it in-game. Asphalt Legends is a free-to-play arcade racing game now featuring LEGO Technic hypercars. And this exact LEGO Technic car is in the game, fully playable. You can play Asphalt on any platform, PS5, Xbox, PC, Nintendo Switch, mobile, all with the same account. So whether you're at home or on your phone, your progress carries over. Let's jump in. This is the LEGO Technic BMW M4 GT3 Evo. You can unlock it, race it in special events, and compete against other players. Right now, there's a dedicated LEGO Technic event where you can complete challenges, climb the ranks, and earn rewards tied to the event. There's a LEGO Technic in-game event live from March 18th to March 29th, so if you want to get involved and compete, now's the time. Jump into the event, race the LEGO Technic hypercars, unlock rewards, and join the community competition while it's live. If you want to try it yourself, download Asphalt Legends using the link in the description and pinned comment, and make sure to redeem my code to claim your rewards. Now let's get back to working on the Caprice. If I'm not mistaken, there's only a few bolts holding this in. That's how the locking mechanism works. Look at this. This switch
Whoa.
is just...
That's a physical switch, bro.
That's cool. I miss when things were physical. Oh gosh. There we go. That is made of 1995 recycled kids' toys.
Yeah, see that little nub in there? It's supposed to go on a little white clip.
Yeah,
that
the
nub,
clip is
that
snapped
clip.
in half. Which is what they do. So the problem is what I expected it to be.
You're a genius.
Yeah, sometimes. Got the old one out. This is the new one. Now I need to figure out.
Get it in that rail.
It's a very limited movement for my hand here.
I can't recommend this.
Something on fire.
It would appear.
Come on. Got it.
Nice.
Oh, that sucks so bad, dude. I can't recommend anyone ever doing it.
Okay.
We've done a thing. It was horrible. I'm gonna put this back together and never touch that ever again. I hated that.
We don't have to do that again.
I'll be honest, working on this car, it's a bit tricky. We got some new parts for the wagon to try to make it a bit better. The first is the thing I broke, which is new end links for the front sway bar. This car is really, really heavy, like I mentioned, and the front sway bar does a lot. But the old end links, as you saw, were toast, so they probably really weren't doing very much. This one comes with new bushings. Guess how much this was? $1.29. I love American cars. The next thing I got was new brake pads, because I noticed the brakes were kind of shot. So we got some big old brake pads for the front to stop this thing. And trust me, it needs them. This thing does not stop very well. So we're gonna throw these new parts in, and then I got a surprise for you that I think you're gonna really like. I really like it. I think you're gonna really like it. How the heck does this go on? Let me tell you, that is a pain to install. Trying to line this up and line all these individual pieces up is really annoying, but that looks a million times better. All right, while we're over on this side, let's do the brakes too. They're a little crusty. Holy crap, they don't look great actually. That's kind of how they should look. So yeah, these are just old. These are old. They have some life left, as you can see. Not as much as they should, but they're just crusty. The front end is all back together. Now I get to show you my lovely, lovely surprise, which is the new wheels for the wagon. Those are these. Oh, the chrome to your dome steelies, bruh. Look at these things. These are American Racing Torque Thrust 2s. I picked them out because they look shiny and I think they'll look cool, and they make a size that fits the car. I think these are gonna improve the look. I will say, the original wheels with the little white wall action and the full thing taken off, full cover taken off, these look cool. But I think these are just gonna look so much better. I have to mount the tires. It was very hard to find tires for these things. Having 15s with some big sidewall, bit weird. So it's kind of old tires. They are brand new, but they're technically vintage car tires. I've only mounted tires like 3 times. Not my best strong suit, so this should be interesting. Guys next door are kindly letting me use their mounting and balancing machine, so this might get interesting. Got the heat ready to go on. Ignore the blue goop that got all over every part of my body, and it's still on the wheels. That's gonna come off, I think, as we drive. I cannot be more excited to put these on though, so I'm gonna throw them on right now. That's gonna look so sick. That is so good. Well, there are a few things that I would still like to do to this car that I couldn't get to in this video. I was hoping to, but there's a lot of stuff that's taking a long time to get here. And honestly, I just wanted to get this video out for you guys. But the wagon is definitely better than it was before, and it looks mean. Look at this thing. Let me know what you want to see me do next with this car. I'm not sure what I want to do with it, but I'm just enjoying it the way it is. It's hilarious, and I love it. And I love you for watching this video. If you like this one, watch one of these two. And if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. Bye.